when we read the Old Testament, we find there are an awful lot of passages that talk about people being unclean. And that means that they are not allowed to be in the presence of God, in the temple, in the holy places, and they're not meant to mix with the people of God. And to our ears, that sounds anachronistic. That sounds weird. Why would people be characterized, almost shamed as being unclean? There are two different reasons that you see. There's firstly the reasons that are literally because somebody is unclean or diseased. There's a passage that talks about skin conditions and how if you have a serious skin condition, if it's an infectious one that could be spread to other people and without modern medication might really cause them huge amounts of harm, then you should be isolated from others. But if it's not an infectious condition, then you don't need to be isolated, and that kind of makes sense. But then there are other passages like we'll see here in Deuteronomy 23, and you look at that and you think, well, why is it that people who have had their testicles crushed, people who have been born out of a illicit union, why would God not want them? Why would he not want them in his presence? And there's something in lots of these passages that is about God saying, well, he wants his people to be pure and perfect because that's what he's like. And he's trying to have these rules to make the people of God as pure as perfect as they possibly can be. He doesn't want illicit unions, and he wants us to look after each other. The good news is that Jesus saw these rules and he said that he came to fulfill them. And he said that it's not Matthew 15:11. He said it's not the things that are outside. It's not what you eat. It's not what you do. It's not what you look like that make you unclean. It's what's on the inside that makes you unclean. And he went and dealt with exactly these things that would have made people unclean. He saved people from them. He redeemed people. For example, in Matthew 11, Jesus goes and the blind receive their sight, the lame walk, the deaf hear, the dead are raised, and those with a skin disease are cleansed. Why was a skin disease so important? Because it would cut people off from other people and allow them to be in God's presence. And Jesus breaks free from those rules that mean that people are ashamed and no longer able to be in his presence. But so many of the rest of the rules we see in the Old Testament are good advice. How do we have hygiene? How do we deal with mold in our houses? Still an issue today. They're good advice that are about protecting people and his people from serious diseases. I hope that makes a little bit of sense about what makes us unclean and what means that we are good enough to be in God's presence.